And welcome into Webchat with the Mayor. We've got a big council meeting coming up this week. We're actually doing it from City Hall in the boardroom up here on the second floor. So thanks for having us first of all today, Pat.
Well, you're most welcome.
And first issue you want to tackle is the zone change on Personal Services Coffee. It's an issue a lot of people are talking about, very popular store. And there's some concern because in the planning report it says to deny the zone change, but you're saying that might not happen Thursday night.
Well, we last night at planning, it came before planning. There was presentations, and basically in the report it talks about how where that retail is located in an industrial zone. It's against the zoning bylaw of the city of Woodstock. It's contrary to the official plan of Oxford. It's even contrary to the provincial policy statements. So it's clearly offside. And as a result of the meeting, there was, I think, good discussion, indicate that that certainly the city did their proper due diligence, because so at the end of the meeting, it was decided, the applicant has decided that he will ask for this application to be deferred, and he's going to work with the planning department to rewrite it and then come back to council and seek a temporary permit for which would allow 3 years. But planning department indicated last night they have to write the report in a different manner, look at different things. It's not very often that a temporary permit is issued. Whether or not whether this coffee service would meet that, but then it would come back to council. So what will come before council Thursday is a motion to defer. If council decides to do that, then we'd wait for a subsequent report.
Explain this temporary permit. It's, you know, something that's probably very seldomly used.
Well, again, in my own example would be someone's operating a store, there's a fire at the store, and so the person has to relocate. They own another property in town where they like to relocate on a temporary basis, but the zoning might not allow that use. And so that would be an example of why you would give a temporary use while they're renovating the store or fixing their store back up. Now, that's my interpretation of it, but again, planning will have to do that. I think the important thing is, while there's while this business is not, cannot legally operate in an industrial zone, it's been appealed, and the city process is we don't just say, fine, you've got to move. He's following, again, the process of going through the thing, and while he's going through these appeals, he can continue to operate his business. That's the way the rules are written.
So under this temporary, it would be a 3 year send out. He's got to relocate after that.
Again, we'll wait for the report, but that's okay. the basic understanding.
All right. Another huge thing is the city strategic plan. The final draft is in. Very interesting document. I have some of it here. Inclusive, vibrant, sustainable. I guess those are kind of the buzzwords. But underneath that, a series of 17 objectives and 52 possible actions. And a lot of interesting stuff in here, Pat. What's your initial take on this document? Well,
again, it's a document that's taken well over a year to put together. There's been lots of input, and now we're to the stage where we've now finished the document and we've decided there's high priorities in the short term, long term. And so what this will allow, it's a direction to staff to take a look at the short term ones that can be accomplished in 2 to 5 years, and they will go away and come back with some concrete ideas as to what can be done. The timing of that will to bring it back to council, likely in the summer, July, August, to say these are the projects. And then if council gives a thumbs up and says we like that project to do with Museum Square, we like this project to do with youth programs, then staff can then budget into the capital budget that they'll start preparing in September, start putting money into the capital budget for these particular projects. So that's the sequence. So there's lots of things in there.
A ton of things. I mean, how do you get to it all, right?
Well, that's what I mean. And we've tried to prioritize down, and now staff will take a look at it and they'll say, well, here's something that we can do for $1,000. Here's something we can do that's $100,000. So council will have to look at that, but we want to get it all in place so that when staff is doing their capital budget, it flows that way. And that's often what happens with these master plan documents. You do them, they go sit on the shelf, but this one here we want to keep live by making sure that the strategic plan matches the capital budget and operating budget, so the funding is there to do it.
Yeah, so it's all about what the city can afford. I guess the one thing in there that caught my eye was under tourism, the possibility of a Woodstock theme park. You know, Canada's Wonderland was rumored to come here several years ago. That's probably under the, you know, the higher scale of things, right?
Well, again, it was gathered from input from the citizens, and when ideas like that came up, it wasn't just one isolated person saying it. There seemed to be a number of persons who said, well, let's at least investigate it. So,
all right, roller coaster ride coming up here Thursday night at Woodstock City Council. Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.